What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode here on Futbol Asada. I'm your host, Andre, here with my co-host, Chris.
What up, boys and girls?
And today we're going to be reacting to Mexico's roster call-ups for their matches against Honduras. So let's get straight into it, man. So what are your instant reactions as we can see from the ones on the screen?
To be honest, there's a lot of names that I don't like in the roster, and I'm sure a lot of people don't like especially Charlie Rodriguez. That is the number one most famous name that I think universally every Mexico fan hates seeing on the roster. There's others as well that get a lot of hate, like Jorge Sanchez, Luis Romo, Memo Martinez, and others. But to be completely honest with you, bro, I don't really think we have anything else. Like, this is what we have. Like, Santi Jimenez is injured. Chucky's injured. Alex Padilla, the goalie, he isn't really playing. Julian Araujo isn't playing, and when he does, he's not playing very well right now. This is really all we have. As much as I hate seeing Charlie Rodriguez, and I'm not saying I like this guy in the roster. I don't. I hate seeing his face and him play. Everything about him.
Yep.
But the thing is, bro, if you look at the stats, this guy's one of the highest chance creators in the entire league. Every single website you can look at, he's one of the highest rated players. And the fact that Cruz Azul is absolutely destroying every single team in the league. They're 13-1-1. They're 3 points away from breaking the points record in a single season. And there's 2 games left. They're probably going to do it.
In history?
In history, yeah. In the history of the Liga MX. Like, they're going to break the points record in a single season. They destroyed Monterrey 4-0. They destroyed America. They beat Chivas. They literally have beaten every single team that's quote-unquote a grande this season. And they're absolutely flying. Charlie Rodriguez is a regular starter for them. He plays very well for them. Same thing with Jorge Sanchez. Same thing with Luis Romo. Same thing with a lot of these players we don't like seeing. So, like, what choice does El Vasco have? As much as we hate it, as much as we hate seeing those players, if Liga MX is letting those players ball out, he has no choice but to call them up. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's just the reality of it. There is no one else. Like, if we don't want to see Charlie, we need other players to step up then. He's putting up numbers, and like, as much as I hate to say it, like, nobody else is doing anything. Like, in Liga MX to, like, kick him out of that place.
I hate that he's playing well. He's such a system player, and it pisses me off. Anselmi's a freaking mastermind. If he's making that player look really good in the league, because we all know how bad he is in the national team. He's damn near useless. Like, we all know that, so we can't even really dive into it even more. I feel like we do this every single call-up. How do you feel about 33-year-old Angel Sepulveda getting called up?
Again, like, if you were to tell me that, like, just saying, like, oh, or how do you feel about a 33-year-old striker getting a chance, and we're bringing 4 strikers? Just hearing it, I hate the idea. Why would we not call up someone else? But then I go back to what I just said. Who is there, bro? There is nobody else.
Exactly.
Like, you cannot name me one striker that is like 27 or younger in Liga MX, that's Mexican or anywhere in the world, that is doing anything. Santi Jimenez, again, injured. JJ Macias, injured, and I don't even know if he'll ever play again, to be quite honest with you. Mudo Aguirre has never done anything, plays for one of the worst teams in the league. Who else even is there? Like, Stefano Carrillo, he's not really playing. Like, as much as I think he has a great future, he's only 18, but he's not even playing for one of the worst teams in Liga MX. Santos. He can't get called up. Who else is there? Like, Hormiga Gonzalez was probably the closest one with Chivas, but he's injured as well. Luca Martinez Dupuy at Rosario in Argentina. I don't even know what he's doing. I don't even know if he's playing anymore. Like, I honestly don't know what is going on with him either. Who else do we have? Like, I see this call up more as like this Angel Sepulveda one is more like a
give him a chance.
And not even just that, but it's more like, all right, bro, like, I recognize you're doing good in Liga MX. You're I think the highest or second highest scoring Mexican in the entire league. I recognize what you're doing. You deserve just to get called up, even if he doesn't play a single minute. I'm not like saying this guy's gonna be the savior. I'm not saying he should get any minutes. But like, as a 3rd or 4th string striker, just kind of like giving you your flowers, giving you your credit for doing what you're doing in Liga MX right now, I don't mind it. And I think one positive out of it, it just shows that El Vasco Aguirre is paying attention to the league. Something we never saw with Tata. Tata would call up players even when that team was doing absolutely terrible in Liga MX, or that player was doing absolutely terrible. This actually shows that, like, it doesn't matter how old or young you are. If you're performing, you will get called up, or you will get a chance. You will get a look.
Same with, I think his name is Alexis Gutierrez from Cruz Azul, a new face in this. I don't really know the player, but obviously if you watch Cruz Azul, you know who he is, and he's pretty important to that team, so we'll see how he plays. I think the only 2 players I really disagree with here is Memo Martinez, because he's been pretty underwhelming this season, and we already have four other strikers with him or without him in this roster, so I don't know why we could have called up like a young winger or something, or another midfielder maybe. And Diego Lainez, because I don't know why in 2024 we're still treating him like he's this wonder kid when he's not. The guy is not good at football anymore. He hasn't been performing for Tigres ever since he arrived. I know he won a league with them, but he's not. He's just not that guy no more. And it sucks to see because this is a player we all really rated at some point. And I think this season he only has like 2 assists. And he's still getting to play matches over like Marcelo Flores, who converts way more and contributes to goals way more than him, which is it's pretty sad. But besides that, I think, like you said, it's the best we have.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the Linus thing, I would say, like, I also don't really agree with him getting called up. But again, like, I go back to the same thing. Like, what else do we really have?
Efrain Alvarez would have been a really good name. I think it would have been done justice to Cholos, who have been pretty good this season. I think he deserves it as well.
I could see that.
But
And
there's
I
not
agree
that
with
many.
that.
There's not many candidates.
I agree with what you're saying, but again, it's not like it's the craziest snub in the world that like Efra is not there and Linus is. Even Marcelo Flores, like I want him to be in this roster. I think has a great future as well. But he's not really playing at Tigres now. Like recently, I don't know if it like what it is, but he's not playing as many games anymore. He just scored against I believe it was Cholos, but he hasn't really been starting games. So again, I can see why he doesn't get called up. Again, I would love to be here being pissed off, like, oh my God, why are we calling on Hector Sepulveda? Because this guy, this guy, this guy, this younger guy, this young guy, this young guy are performing. Or like, why is Linus there when we have all these other young wingers doing things? Like, why are we still calling up Chadley when all these young midfielders are doing things? It's just not the case. It's not happening. Like, I don't really blame El Vasco for calling up the players that are performing well in their leagues. Again, as much as I hate to say it, it's like a fair, I guess, system. I guess the only snub, I guess you could say, is Marcel Ruiz, because Toluca is also doing very well in the league. But again, he called up, what, 4 Cruz Azul midfielders? And I don't really blame him, because like I said, that team is destroying everyone. I don't really know what to say.
The fact that Alexis Vega is the only Toluca player here is crazy because I don't even think he's their best.
Or Gallardo, right? Isn't Gallardo on the roster?
Oh, Gallardo. But I think 21-year-old, what's his name, Violantes, had a better season than Alexis Vega. That would have been way better to see, to be honest. But before we get to the ideal starting 11, I think the one positive is that we don't see Uriel Antuna here again, which goes back to your point. Javier Aguirre is paying attention to Liga MX. He's absolutely terrible, and we used to pray for times like this.
Yeah, I mean, I think Antuna's time is probably done until he picks up his form. Like, that's what, 3 windows in a row. And
God.
the fact that it's 3 windows in a row, I can't really see him getting called up. Like, the first window being, like, if we beat Honduras, obviously. I can't really see him getting called up in March for, like, the Nations League semifinals. But we'll see.
Yeah. All right, now let's run through our ideal starting 11 based on these players that got called up. So starting in goal, the 3 options: Ochoa, Malagon, Rangel.
I go Malagon.
I mean, there's 2 games, so you do Malagon twice, or who would you put?
I mean, they're both, like, elimination games. Like, it's a playoff, so you have to play your best roster pretty much twice. So, yeah, I would go with Malagon.
Your defense, are you back 4, back 3, even though back 3 is probably not going to happen?
He's played like a 4-2-3-1, I think, like recently. So I would go back 4. Again, I'll go Jorge Sanchez, Cesar Montes, Johan Vasquez. Those are guys that are solidified like 100%. And left back, I don't rate Angulo at all. So I would go with Gallardo. Like, that's sadly, but whatever.
I'm actually going to go Angulo because I was very impressed with how he played against the U.S. We're 50-50 there. Midfield
trio, I think it almost writes itself. I mean, it's Edson Alvarez, probably Luis Chavez, even though I think Luis Chavez has kind of fallen off ever since I don't know, last couple of years. Hasn't really done much. And then the other midfielder.
It's the same thing, man.
I mean,
this midfield
like,
is so trash.
I think that the right-sided, like, 8 or /10 is, like, our weakest position. Like, we've tried Orbelin there, has not worked. We've tried Charlie there, has never worked. I've tried Romo, makes the midfield pretty slow. I don't really know who to put there. I mean, I would rather put, like, a more attacking option, but
This midfield sucks.
that spot is up for grabs, bro. Like, that whoever wants that other midfielder, like, can go and take it, because I genuinely don't know. Like, there's not anyone that, like, I think deserves it.
For the sake of not having to freaking play 3 midfielders, I'll go 2 striker formation. Maybe like a 4-4-2.
Yeah, we could go with that.
I'd go Luis Chavez and Edson Alvarez in the 2.
Yeah, we'll do that.
And then left mid, I'd go Chino Huerta. Right mid, I'll probably put Alexis Vega on the other side or Otiel Herrera, either one. But Chino Huerta for sure starter. And the 2 up top, I'd go Julian Quinones and Raul Jimenez. Julian Quinones is insanely in form right now, by the way, in Saudi.
Yeah, he's putting up Ronaldo-esque numbers. I completely agree with that lineup.
By the way, all of our strikers are in form, honestly, except for Memo Martinez. Henry Martin's been, I think he's the Mexican with the most combined goals and assists. Yeah, the guy's been getting assists. Crazy. He's really linking up play. Angel Sepulveda has 8 goals and 6 starts. I think he's second top scorer in the league, tied with Henry Martin. we got pretty good strikers off the bench. But I think that's pretty much it. So we went 4-4-2. Malagon, Jorge Sanchez, Cesar Montes, Joan Vasquez. I said Angulo, Cristian Gallardo. The midfield, we said Luis Chavez, Edson Alvarez, Chino Huerta, and either OTL or Alexis Vega. Don't really mind on that right side. And then the two up top are Raul Jimenez and Julian Quinones.
Pretty much all we have right now. I mean, that's what we gotta roll with.
Yeah, for all you guys watching, let us know in the comments if you guys agree with this roster, if you guys agree with our lineup. But yeah, it's basically the best we got. Make sure to click the like button if you enjoyed the video. Hit the post notifications for the episode next week. And any last comments?
Nope. Let's just beat Honduras.
Let's get it. Catch you guys next week.